Earlier this week, when we were previewing Monday night's Caldwell School District Board meeting, when they were going to hear testimony about their proposed gender identity policy, the one that ended up pausing after learning lawmakers are planning to make their inclusive policy illegal anyway. Well, that day we broke down the game plan put out by a California-based church group on how attendees, those opposed to the policy specifically, how they should handle themselves at this meeting and how they should handle the media. In that plan, the Values Advocacy Council referred to kids, and especially transgender kids, as being brainwashed by the left. And hearing that, Carrie Moore decided to send us a message about her 14-year-old daughter, who wasn't brainwashed and who attended Syringa Middle School in the Caldwell School District just a couple of years ago. Carrie said the counselors, administration, and staff did what they could to provide her a safe learning environment while never infringing on the rights of others. Trans girls are not tricking society just so they can get into a girl's bathroom, she said. If you knew how hard it is and how stressful it is for a trans youth to accept and embrace their identity, you'd know it's not worth a fleeting opportunity to be in the girls' locker room during PE. Maybe you've heard that narrative, that trans kids are just running around violating people's privacy in school bathrooms and locker rooms. Well, we wanted to know how it's actually being handled, straight from the source, those who are actually living in this reality. Carrie and her daughter, Georgie, who will be a freshman next fall, sat down with us to explain it.
But most of the kids that come forward with gender dysphoria have other illnesses, mental illnesses, bipolar, severe depression. Many of them are on the autism spectrum, or they've had severe trauma in their life, usually sexual trauma.
So I actually have an older daughter who came out as queer when she was 18, and I believed those things. I believed somebody hurt her, something is wrong, and it caused her to do this. And having those feelings, those emotions, that belief damaged my relationship with my daughter. So I had to do some investigating. I had to do some serious inward discovery and realize that nobody can make you be LGBTQ. Nobody can make you gay, queer. Nobody can make you trans. She was born this way. My other daughter was born that way.
You feel that way, Georgie?
Yeah, completely.
What do you say to somebody who thinks that? That this was brought on you, or this was...
I think you have a dangerous mindset, that their ideals and opinions are hurting a community that is already hurting.
When you first heard the term transgender, what did you think?
I thought that's me.
Why?
I don't know. I've never really, I was never uncomfortable with identifying as a boy. It was just, when I heard it, I realized I would be much more comfortable.
When she said, I'm transgender, it clicked with me. It made perfect sense. She may never have felt those inconsistencies when she was younger, but I saw them. So it 100%, when she said, I'm transgender, there wasn't a doubt. I believed her from moment one.
When you came out at school, and I assume you went to the school and talked to them about this, how did that happen? We
very specifically told them, at that point we were still using non-binary. She is non-binary. We do have some concerns, like for the restroom use. What can you do for us? And the counselor immediately, we have other non-binary students. We can work out a plan. And that's what we did. We sat down, we wrote out a 504, and they could do that because she has a gender dysphoria diagnosis. It meant that, when the other kids were going and using the girls' restroom or the boys' restroom, she had to excuse herself and go to the counselor's office. But it was safe for her to do that.
So when the Caldwell School District was considering listening to thoughts on this proposal to make the policy that transgender kids can go to whichever bathroom or locker room with which they identify, is that something you'd want to see?
Absolutely.
Why?
Once a child makes that commitment that they're willing to socially transition and live their life as a gender other than what they were assigned at birth, we have to support them. We have to let them know that we believe them, that they are a human and the gender that they believe they are. specifically when they're in a household where they're maybe not getting the support that they need. Having that at school is so important for their mental health.
Would you rather go to the girls' restroom like everybody else?
Next year, when I go to back to public school, I would like to use the women's restroom because I identify as a woman. You know, if I'm going to the bathroom and, you know, it's a free period and everyone is, you know, they'd see me avoid the women's restroom and go into the counselor's office to use the bathroom.
So it's important to you to feel like you belong?
Yeah.
Just like everybody else?
Just like everybody else. I'd feel like they don't see me as who I am.
I mean, it'd be easy for you just to stay home and do the homeschool thing.
Yeah.
So why don't you?
Well, because I miss I miss friends. I miss seeing people. I miss talking to people.
As a mom, when you see these meetings and what's going on in the State House?
I get angry. I get very angry. Well, I get angry for her that they're wanting to take this away from her. But I get angry because I feel like my parental rights, my right to have my daughter receive whatever medical care I feel she needs, taken away from me.
What do you feel about this current focus on transgender and LGBTQ?
Well, I think that stopping hormone treatment, stopping puberty blockers, that it's really dangerous. You are taking a couple detransitioners' opinions over hundreds of thousands of transgender people who are actively disagreeing. The fact that they had to take a detransitioner from California just because they couldn't find one locally, that says a lot. Taking their word on it instead of, you know, a marginalized group who just want to exist. It's dangerous. It's harmful.
Georgie has just recently started taking puberty blockers, and Carrie says they would likely move out of Idaho if House Bill 71 becomes law to make sure her daughter does get the care she needs. No word yet on when or if it will be heard on the Senate side.